A little shiur here in Bet Chabad. We want to talk about our two parashot. This week we have a double header, Nitzavim-Vayelech. You know, we're about probably 9 days from Rosh Hashanah. So Be'ezrat Hashem, this class will be in honor of our soldiers. Hashem will protect them and bring back all the hostages and cure all the wounded and comfort all the fallen's family. Be'ezrat Hashem. The Torah says, Atem Nitzavim Hayom. If you look at these three words, it's finished in the letter Mem, Mem, Mem. You know, it alludes to Yemei HaSelichot, right? We have, as we know, Moshe Rabbeinu went down to Mount Sinai for 120 days, from Zayin Besivan until Yud Betishrei, until Yom HaKippurim. So Mem, Mem, Mem is 120. Atem Nitzavim Hayom. This is really Rosh Hashanah. You know, Rosh Hashanah comes, is Yom Hadin. It says, Kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. And the Torah lists, Rashechem, Shiftechem, Ziknechem, Veshotrechem, Tapeh, Menashechem, Vegercha. And then the Torah adds two kinds of professions. Chotev Etzecha, the one that's actually cut your woods, and the one Shoev Memecha, the one that actually brings the water.
The plumber.
So the Zohar Kadosh says, who are these?
It says nothing about the guy that brings the oatmeal?
Yes, it does. Yes.
In today's, it's the plumber and the floorman.
That's right.
You like it?
So the Zohar Kadosh says, who are these two people? Chotev Etzim is Noach. You know, he made the ark, right? He had to cut trees. And Shoev Meimecha is Avraham Avinu. Right? Be'er Sheva. All the whales that is. And then the Torah says something amazing. It says that all of you are standing here. Asher po yeshno imanu. You are here. And also, Asher enenu po. And people that are not here with us. Hence is the neshamot of all the Gerei Tzedek that will come to the people of Israel. The Gemara explained to us that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu went amongst the nation and offered the Torah, he went to all the nations. They say, you want to be my people? You want to receive the Torah? Says the Gemara that all the leaders said no, but many of the people said yes. Because, you know, they saw the whole world, saw what happened to Egypt, Nahon, all the 10 plagues. They saw the Yetziat Mitzrayim, they saw the herd, you know, Vayishma Yitro, you know, the whole world heard about what Hashem did to Egypt in the Sea of Reeds. By the way, it's not the Red Sea. It's a big mistake. Don't ever say the Red Sea, it's the Sea of Reeds. The Christian call it the Red Sea. You know, the New Testament, one rabbi said, I didn't know something wrong with the Old Testament. Why do we have to have a New Testament? The Sea of Reeds. And the whole people of the world saw. So says the Zohar Kadosh, Hashem says, you're standing here physically, but amongst you, which you don't see, is the neshamot, the souls of all the people that will come to the Jewish people in the future. It says that, you know, we are all here standing today, and this is, of course, Rosh Hashanah. This is Judgment Day, so to speak. As we know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world starting in Kafhei Be'elul. You know, we are today in the 20th of Elul. In 5 days, this is back 5,784 years ago, Hashem started creating the world on Kafhei Be'elul, the 25th of Elul. That was Sunday. And then all the way to Friday, and Friday night was Aleph Betishrei. The word Bereshit is Aleph Betishrei, right? If you rearrange the letter. And Hashem created everything. And of course, when everything was ready, only then, on Friday, on the 7th hour, Adam and Chava were born. Adam and Chava were created on the 7th hour of Yom Shishi. And of course, Hashem says to them, look, I'm giving you this heaven on earth. You are in heaven right now. Don't mess it up. You can have anything you want. Just don't touch this one tree. The tree of knowledge. Why? Because it's good and bad. Everything else is good. There's the tree of life.
Remember that.
And of course, they made a mistake, so to speak, and sinned on the 9th hour. And Hashem threw them out of heaven. You know, we celebrate Rosh Hashanah 2 days all over the world. Even in Israel, it's 2 days. In America, it's 2 days. In Europe, all over the world, it's 2 days. The questions asked why. Bereshit, we said it's Aleph Betishrei, right? It's Rosh Hashanah. And because of the sin of Adam and Chava and the snake and the earth and all the animals in the world and everything sinned at that moment, this is the judgment day. Hashem judges on that day, on Rosh Hashanah. And you know, Hashem has two names. If you look in Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, and then ve'Adonai. There's the name Elohim and Adonai. Those are the two names of God. One is judgment and one is mercy. And after the sin of Adam, the angel asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu not to sit in judgment. One day, if you judge Elohim, is judgment all day. Ask Hashem to sit in mercy. Also, so Hashem added another day for Rosh Hashanah to be in mercy. The Gemara says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu judged the Jewish people first, and then the rest of the world. Why? He doesn't know, because as you go into trial, the more people you have, the angrier the judge gets. Right? It says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did mercy with the people of Israel, Yom Tov God, the people of Israel, to have them also a day of mercy. So he says, Atem Nitzavim Hayom, as we know, as we said, Atem Nitzavim Hayom is basically also give you the opportunity to stand. Hashem says, I created you. You're not perfect, I know, believe me. I'm not asking you to be perfect. But have ishtadlut, try. And he says, why? Because I want to give you, I made you my nation. Because I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When it comes to the people of Israel, we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us a lot of opportunities. The people of Israel are the only nation that survived from creation. All the other nation is gone. What you see today is Egypt or the Syria or the Christians or whatever you see. Those are all nations that were actually mixed. There was King Solomon, as we know, had 3 children. He had 2 daughters, Naamah and Basmat, and then he had another son, of course, will be the king, Rechavam. And he says that when Sancheriv came from King Solomon, he married Queen Sheba, the African queen, and he had a daughter with her. And this daughter will give birth to Sancheriv. And Sancheriv will come, and he was one of the 10 kings that ruled the world. And he took, he did something that no other king did in the past. He's the first one to take nations and mix them around. He would take the European, put them in Africa, the African in America. It would mix the whole nations.
Transfer.
Yes, and they asked him, why you do that?
Yeah.
He said, because when people live in a different countries, they don't fight. That's not their land. You only fight for your land. Right? They say that when Rabbi Chaim from Volozhin was very much, doing the Tisha B'Av and all his students sitting on the floor and crying in Ukraine, came Napoleon and says, why are they crying? I haven't done anything to them yet. So they said to Napoleon, no, it's not for you. It's, it's Tisha B'Av. And Napoleon said he met with Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, he says, only people that respect the past will have a future. And he asked him, I was about to go to fight Russia. He said, will I win in Russia? And Rabbi Chaim from Volozhin said, no, you would lose. Napoleon said, how dare you say such thing? I won so many wars. He said, yeah, you're fighting with the people that have land. Your soldiers are paid. They're not soldiers for land. The soldiers of Russia, that's why they call it Mother Russia. Right? They fight for land. And that's exactly what happened. He lost. By the way, the first yeshiva in the world that people slept in was Rabbi Chaim from Volozhin yeshiva. It's the first yeshiva in the world that people slept during the week. Most yeshivot in the past, you go and come back every day. And he was, by the way, a student of the Gaon from Vilna at the time. So here, when it comes to Nitzavim, we are very much obligated to stand firm in front of Hashem and say, Chatati, Aviti, Pashati. You know, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Adam HaRishon, Ayeka, right? Ayeka means where are you holding? But Ayeka is also an acronym. Elohim Yodea Kol HaNistarot. Hashem knows everything. Who told you you're naked? You know, he said that all of a sudden, they were very, they were ashamed of seeing their nakedness after they ate from the tree. Some said the tree of knowledge is really grapes. They got drunk and they were hiding. And Hashem did, says this is two things Hashem did in the Torah, only two things that are specifically describe Hashem doing something. Everything he created, and But when it comes to Adam, it says, Vayas lahem kutonet or. HaKadosh Baruch Hu changed their appearance from light to skin. Originally, Adam and Chava used to be all light, not skin. Only after the sin, Hashem could give them skin. Or is Aleph, light, they were light. Right? That's why we do the Havdalah, we put our nails in front of the light, you can see through it. That's how Adam and Chava used to be. All light. The Zohar Kadosh says Adam could take 7 steps and reach the whole earth. Because, before Noach flood, the earth was one, Yabasha. That's what it says, right? Look in the Torah carefully in Tuesday, it says Yabasha. It was all one piece. After the flood came, it broke into 7 pieces. It says that Adam, when he rose, when Hashem created him, all creation started praying to him. They thought it was Hashem. And Adam said, no, Adonai hu Elohim, Adonai hu Elohim. I'm not God. I'm only Adam. And when Hashem punished them because they took from the light, this is really the essence of Or HaGanuz, Hashem made them kutonet or. And of course, when Hashem says to Adam on Rosh Hashanah, Ayeka, what are you holding? What have you done? That was a chance to do tshuva. The Gemara says that when Hashem says Ayeka, is gave him a chance to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. But Adam, as a chutzpah, I said, Hashem, it's your problem. You gave me this woman. Zot ha'isha asher natata imadi. He said, if Adam says, I'm sorry, it would remain in heaven. Today, our whole job is to go back to heaven, right? What do we do every day? We hope to Olam Haba, that's all heaven. And because we were thrown out of heaven on Rosh Hashanah, our goal is to come back to heaven. And of course, we know Vayelech, and I'll finish with that quickly. It says Moshe Rabbeinu last day. Vayelech Moshe. It says nobody wanted to come to Moshe. Usually everybody comes to Moshe Rabbeinu when he teaches the people, and then the Skenim, and the Sanhedrin, and everybody. Vayelech Moshe vaydaber et hadevarim ha'ele el kol Israel. The Zohar Kadosh says Moshe Rabbeinu last day, as we know, Moshe Rabbeinu, the whole book of Devarim is only 36 days. From Aleph Bishvat until Zayin Be'adar. That's the last 36 days of Moshe Rabbeinu. He re-gifted the Torah to the entire new generation. And at the last few parashot, the people of Israel didn't want him to die. So they will not come to him. He will go to them. Vayelech Moshe. It says sometimes, we are obligated to go somewhere. Now, we don't understand why Hashem put us here and there and ask you to go to do this. This is the mitzvah of Vayelech, and Moshe was teaching them now, as he says, Ben me'ah ve'esrim shana anochi hayom. I'm 120. As we know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, originally, everybody's supposed to live for eternity. We're all supposed to live forever in Gan Eden with Adam and Chava, all the neshamot. But after the sin and after the Dora Palaga and after Noach, Hashem reduced the lives to 120. But technically, many people lived over 120. Avraham, 175 years. Yitzchak, 180. Yaakov, 147. Some say, there's a debate, but some say that Cain lived the longest, more than even Metushelach. Metushelach was 969 years. There is one Gemara that says that that Cain, because he was the first one to do tshuva in the world, he lived all the way to Noach, which is 1,500 years. He died right before the flood. Cain. And of course we know that, Boaz lived 400 years. Our grandfather, who's the grandfather of the people of Israel? Lavan. All the people his daughters, 4 daughters, are, the people, the mothers of the people of Israel. Except Binyamin, everybody was born in the house of Lavan. He lived over 450 years. So what's the purpose of the 120? Is really, today we are, as we saw, we live 70 years, this is our average, in Begevurot 80 shana, right? The Gemara says, Masechet Avot, the 100 considered dead. You're considered dead if you're 100 years old. So when somebody wishes you 120, say, thank you, but no thank you. So Be'ezat Hashem, take the steps, be Nitzavim, stand in front of Hashem, and say, Chatati, Aviti, Pashati, and walk towards Hashem, as Moshe did in order to bring everybody under the so-called 613 mitzvot that he taught the entire people of Israel in the book of Devarim. Toda Rabba, Be'ezat Hashem, have a blessed day. Come to you.
Can you blame the wife for